Ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome back and good morning from the beautiful country of the Philippines. If you'll indulge me, I'm going to show you, I've noticed a lot of people, not a lot, but people not using the full advantage of the new Zibo in XP12. So I'm going to show you what normally you don't see on the stream. The way I set up the aircraft and get it all programmed and everything loaded and everything like that. All I have done is call over an air start unit and the ground power unit and getting the aiders aligning. Other than that, the airplane is not set. So here is what we are going to do. I'm going to have the Zibo itself order the jetway to come over. It's also going to open the cargo doors, etc., and all that. I don't care about the ground handling equipment all the time. So here we go. Fuel, weight, and balance. Now you're probably, I see a lot of people still doing all this stuff. This is a pain in the butt. Now this is not available in X-Plane 11. It probably never will be. It's just not in the sim. Like there's actual things that we use in X-Plane 12. They don't even exist in X-Plane 11 in the actual sim itself, and will probably never be added. Airside services. So here you go, packs, cargo, fuel. Now watch this. It has full sim brief integration. Load official flight plan. There we go. Activate. The jetway is not movable here. That or it's waiting for the fuel truck and all that. Let's get these on. Seatbelt sign should be off at this point. One thing I did do, the air start unit, I put one of the packs on. And it obviously is allowing me to get some air conditioning going because it's kind of warm here. What doors did it open? Just the car forward services, and here come the front doors. So probably didn't pick a good airport for this. Yeah, it's got me started in a jetway position that doesn't work. That's fine. So here's what we're going to do. Ground handling, control. Liveries. Default. Plugins. Ground handling, control. Drive up all. One thing I'll do, we'll end up with dual fuel trucks. It'll look kind of weird. But this will get the stairs and all that over for us. If I'd have been at like where we're going to be going, Nino Aquino, this would have came over automatically. So as you can see, I would have dual fuel trucks. There's one easy way to get rid of that if you wish. Control, go to the control panel. Fuel truck, hide. I don't need it. Now sometimes it will open this door automatically, sometimes it doesn't. I think it's tied if I have the air stairs down. I'm not sure why the jetways aren't working, but I guess not all airports have that. So here we go. We will go back inside, and what I'm going to do is manually open that rear door. Back. Wrong one. Fuel, weight, and balance. Airside services. As you can see, the Zibo is loading the cargo itself, the fuel itself. I've made it look a bit more real. Now let's get into the FMC. So, position initialization. Clear, don't need that. go to the next page, you can just do this. Boom, route, flight plan request. I'm also going to have the aircraft load, the SIDs, the stars, the perf in it, and everything else as well. And how you do that, let's load it. With the SimBrief downloader, you no longer need to use this when you're using the Zibo. Download this, it's now official. You're going to say, well, it goes into the same place. Yes, but this is an XML file. This is going to also contain your winds data. It's going to include your descent forecast, which is crucial with the new Zibo for helping the aircraft to determine what the N1, N2s should be for the descent profile, the approach profile, etc. Let's get rid of this. And I just use the hide all sort of function. As we continue to refuel, so there we go. We have it in clear, activate, execute, legs. We'll first check to see if we have any discos. We do not. So legs, departure. Got a bit of a loop-de-loop. There we go. We're on 3.5. And what departure was I using? Delta 1A. And there we go. I think that's going to be GSA, so I'm going to freaking probably delete that. Okay, so let's do this. That's better. You gotta, that is why it's very crucial that you check. Otherwise, it had me going in a circle. This aircraft is not gonna have fun with that.
Ground flight deck fuel is all loaded up and you are good to go.
And now the passengers will start to load on their own. Now you watch the jetway will come over. But that is fine. So, get you to there. Now we can get the seatbelt sign on because the fuel aircraft has finished fueling. So, that is now done. And now we will do the arrival. And we're doing the Ibacore. R. We are doing the ILS to number 6, and we're using the DuckSeb transition. Execute. Step through your flight plan. But as you see, it had the SID, the star already in there. You just choose what approach you want to use. Because you know, quite often ATC may give you another runway, so you don't want it pre-set for yourself. This is a 2-hour flight, and there's the arrival. And boom, that's a missed approach. That is good. We'll get that out to around 40. We'll get that to map. The flight directors, make sure you always put the captain's one on first so that it has priority to get RTO set. And we've got a minute. I use realistic loading times. So download the XML file, and all this stuff is already done. It will have your flight plan preloaded, your fuel, your weights, your balances, the CG. You know, now we would go to, obviously, the init ref. We will do the perf init request. It'll first load up with the default numbers. except the numbers are already in the XML file, so I can just do that. What was my reserve? 2.0, wasn't it? 2.0. Boom. Okay. Execute. And one limit, we'll do a D-rated climb. Execute. I know there is. Takeoff. Now, this is also important. That is all good. So, runway heading is 353. I don't know the slope, so I will just put 353. Boom. And the runway winds, according to XNViro, 110 at 4. Wrong one. 020 at 10. I like to do the engine cutback at 1,000. I'll tell it to restore at 2,200. And I click execute just to be safe side. Back to the previous page, flaps 5. Hold off on doing this until all the passengers are on board. Otherwise, now you have set up this aircraft for the absolute best conditions for its takeoff thrust, its climb up, everything. It knows what the winds are going to be. It's going to adjust. It does the calculations on what N1 or N2, and that should all be ahead of time. Because I have already put in the SIDS and stars and everything, VNAV can go, LNAV can go. If one of these does not come on, it could be that you are flying away from your first waypoint. So until you manually turn towards that waypoint and head towards the magenta line, LNAV will not activate. And VNAV is dependent upon you having your VREF speeds, and this filled in. Very simple to look up, and this is modeled now, so it does play a role as to how the engines will be rated depending on runway conditions. I'm going to finish loading up as it goes because it'll take about another 10 minutes, and I'll bring you back when we are taxiing. But that is how you set up the Zibo to have its best conditions for its takeoff. I am by no means an expert on this aircraft at all, but I read a lot and I watch Nico, who is the primary beta tester for the Zibo, and probably knows more about it than any other person, other than perhaps Twixter and Lubos himself, Mr. Zibo. I don't know of anyone else who knows more about this aircraft than Nico. And I do watch him a lot. I'm a member. I'm in his Discord. I also subscribe to his channel. I shouted him out in the last video. Thanks to him working as an intermediary on my behalf with the Magnus and the team at Threshold and XNViro. We now use XNViro instead of Active Sky. So, I'll get us ready to push back and everything else. Here are the plugins that I am using. I'll leave that up on screen for you for a second. Links to everything I am using within reason will be in the description down below, including where you can get the Zibo itself. I recently deleted my Zibo. I started with a fresh install because 4.0.11 I had patched that aircraft up probably 5 or 6 times And when I get to around 5 or 6 patches, I know at some point I'm going to have messed up something small. Just the conditions haven't been met yet for it to, you know, all of a sudden cause my aircraft to go bonkers. So every 5 patches or so, I delete the aircraft after backing up my preferences, my liberties, my AviTab, XRAS settings, stuff like that. I move them out, and then I delete the aircraft, and we are now on 4.01.12. So there you go. That is how you tell what version of the Zibo you have as well. Links will be down below, as well as a link to my Discord, how you can buy me a cup of coffee via PayPal. All monies received do go back into the Sims, such as buying the Ferranda Beaver, buying Kansai International, getting X camera, etc. So I don't use it for my own personal use. And I will bring you back when we are on the runway. Thanks for flying along with me. And welcome back, everyone. I thought I'd show you the pushback. What the hell? So I'll take you up to around, I don't know, 10, 15,000 feet. Yesterday I hand flew this up to like 26,000. Then the wind started getting a bit much for me and I turned on the autopilot. We're going to go flying and we'll show you a bit of the outside,
doors and hatches
obviously.
are closed and we're ready to connect.
Okay, cool. Don't know why that jetway didn't come over. I guess I'm just up too far. For the 7.3 I should be back here somewhere. But that's where it loaded me up. So we're in General Santos City. I don't know the name of the island. This is a default airport. This is a shakedown flight. Normally I do my shakedown flights Calgary or Edmonton to Vancouver or Portland to Vancouver using Vertical Sims Portland or Mr. X's. But I was looking through the demographics and I've got a number of subscribers in the Philippines and I haven't really
Welcome
featured
aboard,
the
Captain.
Philippines.
Toes connected, bypass pens inserted. Go ahead and kill the parking brake when you're ready to go. Here comes the pushback. Light them up.
And today is the first flight of the day, so we have the left starter in use. And start 2. And 2 rising, looking for 25%. So we have the barrel in, we've got the VREFs in. Runway heading is set, we're going up to 34,000 feet. Get you to progress, and that's good. The reason for backing up your preference file with the 7.3, that's because normally this would come with levers. I like the switches. They're just easier to use. I also, the split wings have grown on me. The split wingtips, the scimitars, if you will. Again, default airport, which is fine for me. Beautiful Cebu. I think there's actually a city or an island called Cebu, just to the northeast of here, if I recall correctly. I have been to the Philippines in real life, but only Colombo and obviously Manila. Beautiful country, beautiful people, very gentle people, unless you tick them off. Do not let their kind, soft-spoken demeanor fool you. Try and rip them off or anything like that, and you will find out very quickly. There is a lion that hides underneath that soft-spoken, gentle demeanor. And the food is
Just
awesome.
about done here. Go ahead and set your parking brake.
We got one good start.
And we're
We will
disconnecting
start
the tow.
engine
Give me just a
2.
moment.
We will get you to continuous because we are taking off. And because I'll always forget and I'm lazy, once he pulls away, gonna put TARA on. And we're at 25%. We will inject the fuel now. We will also get an engine bleed on. So we got some air flowing in the cabin here.
And we're disconnected. Signal and pin on the left. Take it easy and have a safe flight.
And the pack is going well. I know we have dual bleeds. And the yellow light has gone out, so generator on, pack on, pack, bleed airs, there we go. Not that we really need it. I don't know how ground GPU is available, but okay. And we will get APU bleeds off and APU off, engine continuous. Taxi lights on. TARA. Pitch trim 4.50 is set. RTO is set. Flaps 5 takeoff as always. The runway's long enough. If it was like a 5,500 foot runway, ooh, I like that Aerologic livery. Kind of reminds me of Varick.
Okay, the cabin is secured. Have a good flight.
Thank you. And what that means is everybody's seated properly, and the cabin crew as well is in their jump seats and strapped in. And because I always forget stuff, you on, taxi lights off. And here we go. Oh, I know what I forgot to do. Oh well. So we will have a back taxi. So you technically would have the landing lights and everything on anyway. Auto Ortho is in use, version 0.7.2. If I recall, I use Doken as the downloader in the background. Might be WinFSP like Fuse, I'm not sure. And XM Viral is providing the weather visuals. And XRAS will be providing the entertainment, screaming at me all the time because I'm doing something wrong. But again, I'm not a real world pilot, and I fly just to have fun.
On runway 17.
I've done a live stream and left that stream up live, where I actually decided to bolt right through a thunderstorm and everything else. Basically almost crash landed, ran off the end of the runway, broke the nose gear, 2 engines on fire, and I was laughing the entire time. Now obviously in real life you would not be laughing, but this is a simulator. I was laughing my butt off. And so were a number of people in Discord that were also watching via YouTube, and they were laughing their butts off. And I let you see my landings, good or bad. So if you enjoy my more laid-back style, like I'm talking to you and you're sitting right here in the flight deck, consider subscribing and maybe supporting the channel. You know the routine. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I do reply to the comments best of my ability. And I hope that little introduction of stuff I don't normally show you, that is a much easier way of getting the Zibo up and ready to go. Of course, I use realistic fuel and cargo loading times, IRS alignment time, passenger load times. You can make it where it's like very short, like everything will be done within like 2 minutes. Or you can even have it instant. Like the plane is just instantly loaded with fuel, instantly loaded with cargo, passengers. Except, oh, X-Enviro. Oh, I tell you. I freaking love it. It is so, I tell you, it's a game changer. Compared to it, because it's so much more than just, you know, makes your clouds look a bit nicer. It also has its own set of shaders and everything else, which, speaking of shaders, there are restrictions on what you can have running in your sim. No reshade, no virtual XP or XP visual, no RXP enhancer, stuff like that is a no-go. Also, X-Enviro only supports full versions of X-Plane. It does not support release candidates or betas. So if 12.1 comes out,
Approaching 3-5.
and it comes out as like release candidate 4 or beta 5, okay, disable X-Enviro until it becomes 12.1.0 and is no longer a release candidate or a beta candidate. The X-Enviro team will be working, seeing what they've changed in that, but they will not release
On
a new
runway
version that will function.
3-5.
And here we go. 40% N1. Up around 60. I knew I'd forget something. Toga. Here we go. Let's go to Manila. I want some coconut tea. And some Jolly Beans.
80 knots.
These will buy 100. On the Yoke.
V1, rotate. Positive rate. $400.
Go to flaps 1.
$1,000.
And I do want you to see some of outside, so there we go. We'll get flaps clean. Auto brake off. We will leave the engines in continuous flight for now. Relight, because we are in a critical phase, we can get those off. Please get me up a little higher. I don't feel like going into that mountain or volcano. I'm not Indiana Jones. Love it. Some countries obviously have better ortho quality than others. I'd say it's not bad here, if I'm being perfectly honest. Quite lovely. There we go, a nose camera view. as we climb up to flight level 340. What is the transition level? Look at the departure. 11,000. We got a little ways to go before that. I will leave them in continuous relight till I get up to about maybe 15,000 or so. By then we should be fine. Clouds are looking spiffy. And there you can see where we are. One thing I like to do, I've already started the clock. You come in. People always ask me how I do this. And there we go. Speed coming up on 10,000, so we will get this to where it doesn't need to turn more than 20 degrees. A little more comfortable for the passengers. Landing gear into the lock position. Everything down below looks good. Everything up top looks good. No orange. Pressurization is slowly rising, which is good. 10,000. Put you to auto. Cabin crew can get up. Landing lights off. I got to get a skin for this. Just kind of worried. I try to limit what I have in my sim that's actually from X-Plane 11. Rumor has it that 12.1, there's a chance some of your X-Plane 11 airports are no longer going to work because they're changing data points. And also, aircraft flight modeling is going to change again. There's a chance that some of your aircraft might not work from X-Plane 11. A lot of the functions that I've shown you within the tablet with the airside services, they are not available in X-Plane 11 because the things that are needed to get it to happen don't actually physically exist in X-Plane 11, and they never will, most likely. So, the X-Plane 11 version of Zibo, in my humble opinion, I think it's basically done. If they come out with a new version of X-Plane 11 and it breaks the Zibo, obviously Lubos and Nico and them will get it to work. But as far as all the added functionality that is now in the Zibo mod, with like the ability to automatically call over jetway, it usually works. As long as you're on the right parking line. You know, stuff like that. Default X-Plane 11 doesn't even have movable jetways. X-Plane 12 does, at least at default airports. There we go. And now we'll get these to flight, those to continuous. I knew I'd forget something. Strobes on, dummy. Okay, you can get up now. And we're basically flying in a pretty straight line, so. There we go. I will leave you with one more shot of outside and of my plugins, and then I will bring you back probably about 80 miles or so, 90 from top of descent because I have some pre-descent stuff that is now in the Zibo, and this is how you would get the Zibo to have the best chance of descending, following a descent profile, never having to touch the speed brake, and have the right engine power settings in that for the descent, for the turn to final, and the arrival. We will be downloading the winds, the weather forecast data, which is all contained in the XML. We'll also be setting the QNH deliberately in the FNC, as well as the eastern deviation, which for the Philippines is basically almost nothing for Manila. But there you go. You can see it. I've still got about another hour and a half to go before we get to that point. But there you can see Ortho and X-Enviro working in perfect harmony. Frame rate is good. It looks good. Multiple different types of clouds at different altitude levels. The haze off in the distance. And ozone effect and everything. It's just freaking awesome. I love flying with these two. My God, that is it. I'm taking a screenshot of that. You can too. That is stunning. That just looks so good. I'm like, I'm not gonna lie. What's over this way? Maybe we can fit one more in. No, it's pretty flat over there, so not surprising the plates run in on the coast, obviously. Anyways, excuse me. I will bring you back just, 80 miles or so before top of descent. We will get into the Zibo's FMC and have it request the descent forecast for us, and then we will give the Zibo the best chance. Now, that doesn't mean I'll have a good landing. I'll still probably blow the landing. But at least it'll be set up that it's like, well, dude, that was all on you, man. Like, I gave you the best shot. And it's like, yeah, my bad. But it's fine. You're going to see it, good or bad. Anyways, thanks for flying along. Remember to like, to share, to comment. Links to the Discord, how you support the channel, and what I'm using are linked in the description down below. Click show more, and I will see you on the other side. Thanks for flying with me. Hello everybody, and welcome back. Well, it's been a pretty uneventful flight. Winds and everything have been quite favorable and nice for us. So, fuel quantity, I want to take note of that. We got a difference of about 1,000 kilos, or 100 kilos, whatever it is. We'll say 0.1, what do we got? 3.1, 4.0, we'll say 0.9. Now, very crucial part. I'm currently on the progress page. Now we are 87 miles out. Let's go to descent. And what we want to do is grab the descent forecast winds. This will play a role in how well the Zibo is going to perform on the download. 110 at 5, 110 at 5 knots. And we will load this. Eastern deviation will be 2. And we have 1010 for the QNH. We put that in and we execute it. Now, what is happening? You're not seeing it, but in the background, To get back up here, we'll start our initial descent altitude. Just around 6,000 feet. 5,000 actually. This has a we're going in on runway 6, which has a very low ILS glide slope intercept, which is like 1,500 feet. You're only about 4 miles from the airport, and then you get the glide slope back. Not sure the reason for it, but that is what it is. I have already put the runway heading over here, which is 063. And we will get this to 063. Going to do around, I don't know, 25 degree bank turn. Start to brighten the cabin up. Other than that, the aircraft has performed beautifully. Pressurization and everything has worked beautifully. No errors up top. Check Gen 2. We're getting the same readouts basically. That should actually be on track. So there we go. We can go back to the map if you like. When we come in for landing, I will just say I will just turn the Zibo off the tablet. There is a power button right over here on the left. And it's just the clouds and everything is just looking beautiful. And here we go. Just hang on. Someone has got their stereo blasting outside. Oh, Jesus. Be right back. And we're back. It's more I don't want a copyright strike if somehow my headset is picking it up. It's basically a really bad cover of Imagine by John Lennon. Except I'm not sure who's doing the cover, but yeah. It's, if anybody should give a copyright strike, it should be whoever's singing that song. My humble opinion, there's very few people that could improve upon the original. So we have given the aircraft the absolute best chance for a nice, smooth descent. We will do auto brake 3. The runway is long enough, people say, well, just use auto brake 2. The difference between 1 and 2 is just like pointless. And if it's like, if you're gonna, it's like, it's 5% better, something like that. A on-the-line pilot told me. He goes, if you're thinking of going to 2, just go to 3. He goes, we often land with brake max. It's called, we just want to get slowed down and get off the runway. Get to the gate, get the engine shut down. That is our primary concern. Because the aircraft is not considered safe until it is at the gate, chocks in place, engine shut off, and that is your ultimate goal. Only then can you somewhat relax as the captain, he said. So that is always our prime focus, is getting that done. quite lovely. It's we are going to have supposedly a kind of low ceiling in Manila. Call up the METAR again for you. Few at 25. Okay, it started to clear up a little bit. Winds are actually variable, but they're 5 knots. Hopefully it takes properly. I have had occasion with XenViro, at least this version of it, where it, for some reason, holds on to the previous winds. Actually, I know what I'm going to do. No. Wrong way. You'll get to see my settings that I use. I mean, I've been posting screenshots in my Discord and some other Discords that I'm a member of and that. And people have been saying, how have you got your sim looking like that? Quite often, you know, like I was in Manila, it had rained. I posted it on community tab. And it had rained, and I did one in Honolulu. And part of it is kind of an optical illusion in a sense. Yes, XenViro helps with the shading and the light, the way the lighting is being done, because it does much more than just do, you know, weather injection. It's a complete atmospheric and lighting and shading suite. Whereas Active Sky simply just puts some winds in your sim and does some clouds. That's about it. And it's like the angle that I have the camera at, how the sun is reflecting off the wet tarmac, and you get the reflections in that. You know, so that is part of it. You know, it takes time to set up a good screenshot. It's as simple as that. For my thumbnails, I try, if I see something really spectacular or really nice, then I'll use it. But I don't necessarily go out of my way to make something misrepresentative of what actually the flight is going to look like. Like I could use that screenshot from Manila with the rain on the tarmac and all, but that's not going to be what it's like when we're landing. We are on live weather, obviously, via XenViro. By the way, I'll just do this quickly before we get into it. There's my graphic settings. Okay. Boom, you can just pause the video. And for the flight configuration, make sure you have this on customized. So manual weather. We're not doing live time. Quite simply because it's like 3 a.m. in the morning in the Philippines right now. Or something like that. So that's the reason why. People hate it when I do night flights. I always fly at night or sunset. I always time my flights to arrive at sunset or sundown when I'm just flying for myself. Tell me that looks bad. That looks really good. Could some of these have snow? Remote possibility? You know, like I'm not sold on that. Still got to work on the getting my clouds looking slightly better. So the weather just updated, you could tell there. back inside as we are getting ready for the descent. Not sure if I have XP Realistic enabled or not on this flight. Not really sold. You've really got to find someone who's got a really well-designed profile. It's like the tools are there, it's just way too much time. I don't want to spend more time trying to configure my sim than I am flying it. I know you can call that lazy, you can call it unrealistic. I'm fine with calling it anything you want. That's fine. I want to fly my sim, not spend all my time trying to configure every little nick and cranny of getting, XP Realistic exactly spot on for how a 737 would be, or a Cessna 172 or something. I just want to fly my sim. I make some adjustments, touchdown for main gear and nose gear. The vibration is completely overdone. It's not realistic at all. If a real 737 shook and rattled like that when it's on a descent and trying to slow down, nobody would get on an aircraft. Okay, and no pilot would go, I ain't flying that thing. Heck no. So, yeah, to me it's not very realistic. Unless you spend a lot of time tuning it. Then you can get it really realistic. So, again, I hope you have enjoyed me showing you the ways to get the best out of the Zibo in XP12 to the best of my ability. Like I have said, I am not an expert at all. These are just things I have picked up from reading forums of people who are actually involved in the development of the aircraft, and the way to help give yourself the best chance. As you saw, the engine spooled down before we even started to descend. And we're bang on the profile, which is great. 22 knot crosswind. Get you two around there. And there's our approach. Fairly simple. It's got some sharp turns though. Ah, beautiful country, the Philippines. Absolutely beautiful people, beautiful culture, phenomenal food, stunning landscapes. Yes, it's got volcanoes. If you don't like volcanoes, Asia is not the place for you. Same with earthquakes. But I can tell you right now, you have a better chance surviving an earthquake if you live in Asia. You just look at what happened with Taiwan recently. The reason why there were so few deaths is they have a very strict seismic code for their buildings. And buildings were ordered to be retrofitted, and if they couldn't be, the government said, we're demolishing it. And that is one of the reasons why the death toll was so low. Although a single loss of life is one too many. But a lot of the countries in Asia have very strict seismic codes when it comes to building. Japan obviously is the leader when it comes to that. And the thing is, some people go, well, come on, look at that freaking earthquake, you know, like 15 years ago or so. There was a lot of them. That was because it had a 130-foot tsunami behind it. Most people died in the tsunami, not the earthquake. It was the tsunami and the landslides that got people. You know, people don't realize tsunamis, you can't outrun them. And a 130-foot wall of water, okay, with the density more than steel, like concrete, smashing into houses, of course they're all going to be leveled. A lot of them weren't leveled by the earthquake, they were leveled by the tsunami that followed. Anyways, enough dreary talk. We just got past it. So I have my VREFs in. My barrow is set for my minimums for the approach. And as you see, I have not touched the speed brake at all as we come down. It's got a profile that it's happy with. I gave it plenty of time to do the calculations. Progress 3.1, fuel quantity 3.4, so a difference of 0.3. I already calculated it earlier, but we can do it again. Yeah, it's coming down. I overrode the speeds. I can't land that slow, man. I just can't. And transition level was 11,000 feet. I don't think it's any different than Manila. You watch, it'll be, well, check the charts, David. You can at least try and do something realistic. No, you see, it's 13,000 feet. Excuse me. Auto brake is set. Speed brake set. Well, spoilers set. And it's coming in beautifully. I think we're a little high. I'd like to be a little lower if I'm being perfectly honest with you. But the aircraft says it's happy at this point in time. 0 vertical deviation. Not blowing through any speeds. Much is 250 in the flight plan? Ah, it is. Okay. I hate these 9,000 or above things. Normally I'd overwrite that and it's called, just put me at like 15,000 feet or something. I hate that. 9,000 or above. Okay, I'll cross it 44,000 feet. How's that? It's ludicrous. Charts should have defined limits. And of course ATC is free to override them. Ah, beautiful. Of course, one of the more destructive is it Mount Pinatubo is here in the Philippines. When that thing goes off, man, whoa, all heck breaks loose. Auto Ortho doing its magic, SFD Global as well. Hopefully we get new cloud art with 12.1. It all depends on the angle that you look at stuff. I quite often find. Landing elevation is 14 feet, so 0 is fine. Excuse me. And I will get you to 063 as well. (109.10), 109.10, both sides. This aircraft is Cat 3 equipped. How do I know? It says right there. Although I think they only have a Cat 1 ILS on runway 6. I normally come in on runway 24 if I'm being honest with you. Maybe it's got to do with seasons when I've flown here. That at certain times of the year the winds are more prevalent coming out of the west, and other times of the year they're more prevalent coming out of the east. I'm not sure, but I'm usually coming in on runway 24 into Manila. Absolutely beautiful. I'm loving it. Don't technically need these, but I will get them on. Those are on continuous. I have alerted the cabin. That is simply telling the cabin crew to, pick up any, cups or bottles at your tray tables. Tell you to put your tray table up, get your feet straight up, and such like that as they do a walkthrough. Make sure your seatbelt is securely fastened, and do a final walkthrough, and then they will take their seats. The aircraft used to play an announcement that when you would hit the wing light, it would say, "Flight attendants, take your seats for landing." Doesn't seem to do that anymore. And I am just going to flip it over now. Little early, but that's fine. Any update? 1010 has not. Okay, so we will just go with that. Speed brake arm, auto brake 3, we're doing flaps 30, ILSs match both sides, heading match, heading, course, both sides. Cabin has been alerted to be ready, prepare for landing, and here we come. We'll now get you to 30 degrees bank turns. And I have a nasty habit of putting in too much flap way too soon. I'm going to try something different and put them in much later. And you can track us coming in. If you have little nav map, you can get it to actually put the flight plan on here. There is an option in little nav map to have it export to Avitab format, and then you load it up as a Mercator file, I believe. I just can never be bothered with it. I'm not a fan of little nav map. Too many icons on that thing. I'm a firm believer of the KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. And as you see, I have not had to intervene the entire flight at any point, because at all points of flight, I have given the Zibo all the information that I could humanly gather via SimBrief in the XML file to set it up to have the best chance to perform at maximum efficiency. So quite happy with that. Now, the landing, I guarantee you I will probably blow it. I always do. The second I tell it autopilot off, that's it. That's when things go sideways. We will see. Pitch trim's a little high. Oh, my throttles are not linked. Okay. Looks like I may have forgot to calibrate. Copy over my yoke settings. Well, not copy over the yoke settings, but recalibrate my yoke, my pedals, and also my Avitab presets. Because normally this should turn blue when this line touches this. And here we go. Let me get that chart on there now. And here we come into the beautiful city of Manila. Some killer beaches in the Philippines. Just beautiful beaches. I've got a soft spot for the beach that I like in Busan in South Korea. Oh, I've got a soft spot for Busan, period. Not a huge fan of Seoul, same as I'm not a huge fan of Tokyo or Osaka. You're going to say, well, dude, you lived there 15 years. Yeah, but I was paid to live there. And trust me, any chance I got, I was out. I was traveling around, especially up in the north, going to Hokkaido, Iwate Prefecture, Sendai, Fukushima, Morioka, Akita, Aomori, which is where I'm planning on moving back to. I was out every single chance I got. Okay, and what do you say? I should be at 5,000. I am actually going to intercede. And I am going to say I'm going to go with 15 even though it says 17. And even with making that change, it was perfectly fine. It all comes down, you know, the Zibo is not a toy. It is a complicated mod. I will put it up against any other 737 800 in the sim. Payware or freeware. It is, I don't get the most out of it. I'm not a very good pilot. I fly for fun. I will get it onto the localizer. Again, giving it the best chance. We are 25 miles out, so I'm perfectly fine at this speed for now. And I see I have another decel point coming up, so I am not going to put flaps out yet. You can go back over here and off. Don't need it. Haven't touched the aircraft. I mean, I just don't like, I hate those 5,000 or above things. It's like, no, 5,000. If I can be at 5,000, I'm coming into land, I want to be at 5,000. Approach. We're still 21 miles out, not putting out flaps. We can go outside and look though. Ah, look at those wispy clouds. Oh, Lord, yes. Got some ships out in Manila Bay. Or is that Subic Bay? No, Subic Bay is a little more to the north. To the north-northwest. Philippine Bay. Okay, I do have to stay inside now. Sorry, folks. I need all the help I can get when it comes to landings. And here we go. Feet on the pedals. I am going to intervene a little bit and put in 195 just to get us starting to slow down. I do not like that pitch trim at all. It looks all right. But that's a really wacky pitch trim. That's all I'm going to say. 18 knot wind, that is wrong. Although we are still 3,000 feet in the air. But one last check. Okay. Absolutely beautiful. The clouds look awesome. This is a beautiful approach. I like the 1 and 2 4 as well because you have a mountain that you kind of fly in between, just off the right of, the left of. I believe it's the left of. We will go straight to flaps 5. What was my VREF again? 134. Still 10 miles out, so I'm gonna keep speed up for now. This plane can handle the flaps 5 at this speed. I think this is way too low. Like 150 for flaps 5? No.
$2,500.
Now the pitch is starting to come back a little better.
1,000 to go.
The wind is totally wrong. I don't know what Enviro is doing. See what I mean? How low the glide path is? It's unreal. Flaps 10. Glide slope is captured. Shaking is XP realistic. Flaps 20. 134. Flaps 30. Now the winds have corrected themselves. Autopilot off my aircraft.
$1,000.
Flight slow. Flight slow. Flight slow.
Yeah, I know. I'm
Flight
trying
slow.
to correct the pitch trim.
Flight slow. Flight slow. Flight slow. Flight slow. Flight slow.
Oh, I know why.
Flight slow. Flight slow. Flight slow.
500.
Flight slow. Flight slow. Flight slow. Flight slow.
400.
Flight slow. Flight slow.
Oh, be
Flight
quiet.
Approaching minimums.
Approaching.
Flight slow. Flight slow. Flight slow.
That is my
Flight
bad.
slow. Flight slow. Flight slow.
300.
Flight slow. Flight slow. Flight slow. Flight slow.
I'm not worried about the
Flight
glide
slow.
slope.
Approaching. 0.
Flight slow. Flight slow.
Approaching. 0, 6.
There we go.
Minimums.
Why aren't you complaining I'm too low
200.
or too high?
Think rate. Think rate. Think rate.
100.
Think rate. Think rate.
50.
Think
40.
rate.
30. 20. 10.
Ah, stopped early. Welcome to Manila. Told you the landing.
80 knots.
That's manual braking. Reverser stowed. And we'll just roll off to the end. Well, somewhat the end. Just a little nudge on the throttle gets the speed brakes to come down automatically while the spoilers run. I don't know why they changed the name. And here we go. 3D trees in XP12. I don't know what you were talking about there, Austin. Your trees look horrible. They looked better in FSX. In my humble opinion. I love X-Plane. I've always loved X-Plane. Going back to X-Plane 10. A gentleman named Wycliffe Barrett had a channel, still does, X-Plane Dedicated. I remember flying X-Plane when it was X-Plane 6 or 7. Something like that, and like it's like, yeah, it's like you've got nothing on FSX. And but X-Plane 10, he convinced me. And at the same time, I bought P3D because Dovetail took over X-Plane. I'm not saying they did a horrible job, or FSX. I'm not saying they did a horrible job. I just really don't like Dovetail as a developer, period. I've mentioned that during numerous train sim videos. Should have had the landing lights on. Good work. You can just go to there. No, don't start. Let the cabin crew up. Here we go. So there you go. I mean, other than my incompetence once I took the autopilot off. That's how you get the most out of the Zibo. You notice I did not touch the speed brake or intervene in anything. The altitude thing, I could have left it at 5,000 or above. That is just a me thing. I hate those things. Give me an altitude to be at and I will be at it. Don't tell me I can be at anything as long as it's above 5,000. I hate that. When I used to ATC, I used to always give pilots, I want you at 8,000. I want you at, 6,000. I want you at 4,000. And maintain highest possible speed for spacing until a certain waypoint, then slow to join the localizer kind of thing. Here we go. Hopefully this will work right. If you don't mind, indulge me. I hopefully will line it up properly. And you will see, once I get the chocks on and everything, I'm just going to call the GPU right away. And that should do, I think. We'll get you there. We'll come back over here. Should have turned it back on thing. Get you to there. The engines are still on, so no, they cannot. Ground services, we'll get the GPU, we'll set the chocks. We'll get the GPU on the bus, you off the bus. Engine stop. fuel off. And there you go. It'll also open the door automatically. And there you go. That should have happened at the other airport. I think it just, for being a smaller airport, non-main, didn't have the automatic jetways. But as you see, you park the aircraft properly, and the jetway will come over itself. And you will see right now, if I go to here, it's already, the aircraft is starting to be unloaded. So there you go, folks. I hope you enjoyed this bit longer look at how you can hopefully, landing aside, get the most out of the Zibo mod. It really is quite powerful. It just takes a little bit of pre-planning on your part of how you want to plan your route in via your SID, your star. Make sure you do that download, SimBrief downloader. SimBrief is completely free. Okay, create your flight plan in SimBrief. Download the XML file and then just follow what I did. And as you saw, I did not have to use a speed brake or anything else. I would not have had to intervene during the entire flight at any point in time. And it loads itself, it unloads itself, it opens the doors automatically for you, and you will be good to go. So that's going to do it for this one. Again, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to hit the like, the share, the comment, the subscribe. The beautiful city of Manila in the background. Awesome city. Awesome people. And, do leave a like, a comment. I do my best to reply to all of them. Links to most of what I use will be in the description down below. Click show more. You will also find my Discord, how you can buy me a coffee via PayPal to put back into the sim. And you will also find my computer specs down below. Until the next time we meet, folks, sometime next week probably, I want you to stay safe, be kind to one another, keep the blue side up, and I will see you in the sky, on the rails, and on the road. Take care, everyone, and bye-bye for now from the beautiful city of Manila in the awesome country of the Philippines. Take care, everybody. Thanks for watching.